Hey guys, this is Kante here looking at all the items in Spagonia in Sonic Unleashed. So anyway, we'll start with the daytime stage. There's nothing to look for at first until you get to a springboard with this rainbow ring, because after it, there's a U-turn, and at the end of this turn, there are some crates off to the right. But try to avoid the crate in the far back, because there's a dash panel under that crate that'll make you miss the item, so the best thing to do is to aim for the front of the crates, get the item, and then hit the dash panel next to it. Anyway, you get a break after that until you get to this area where you do the quick step. After the path winds out, there's a crate with a robot on top of it, so hit him with the homing attack. And hit the guy behind him too, because that guy is over an awning that has a dash panel leading to the next item. Then you can take a minute to speed through everything because there aren't any more items until you get past the clock tower. There's 2 zip lines leading away from this tower, but you're only going to want to take the first one and then go backwards, because there's a grind rail leading off to the left giving you, well, yeah. And you don't have to worry about going the wrong way on this rail because you can't go backwards on these rails. Literally, it doesn't work. Anyway, after this, you'll go back to 3D and then you'll have this bad boy to deal with. But whether you would choose to attack him or not, remember to stay in the middle of the road when you get to the stairs leading up to the goal ring because, as you can guess, there's an item in the middle of the road. And 1 second away is the goal ring where you finish the level. Now let's move on to the nighttime levels. There's a straightaway at first, but then you turn right and then you enter a fight. And when you're done with the combat, continue forward and go to the left when you see a cluster of jars. You can't see the item, but it is hidden in that left corner. Shortly afterward, you'll come to a door, which, by the way, you can open with your own bare hands. Again, you're gonna want to go to the left, because there's a little food shop in the left corner. And I bet you can guess what's behind it. After this, you'll be good to go forward until you reach this church. And at this point, you'll need keys to unlock a wall. But there's an item on this church too, which is a lot more obvious because of the camera. So not surprisingly, you'll have to climb up the clock towers to get this item. I mean, there's a key on the other clock tower, so there's an excuse to get the item anyway. Later on, you'll find this wooden elevator, and then you'll have to keep your eyes open again, because there's a break in the black fence, indicating that you can jump through the gap. The wall is a bit thicker near the gap, so you can use it as a platform. That way you'll get some extra height so you can jump and get this item on top of this structure. You can go back the way you came, too, so make sure to get enough momentum so that you can save yourself a few seconds. After this, you'll see 4 orange rooftops that you have to cross to reach the goal ring. But you don't want to go there just yet. Instead, you're going to want to look for some items down in the alleyways. On this first house, for example, you can drop off to the right and check an alleyway there. There's nothing if you go forward, but if you turn around and go backward, there's an alleyway with an item. But don't worry about getting stuck in the alleyways because there's a pole off to the left that you can climb to get back on the rooftops. There's another item too if you continue to the last house before the goal ring. You can jump down for the last house on the left side, the right side, or the forward-facing side, but preferably you choose the left side because there's an item in an alleyway on that side. If you backtrack and take a U-turn, you'll find another item with red Gaia Soul, but that's not what we're going for. So you can just skip that and climb back on the houses using this pole. So now it sounds like time to go to the goal ring, right? Wrong, actually. If you go to the right, you'll see an area behind the goal ring. And if you wander over to the left here, you can jump to the structure which has the last item. Climb on this pole to get back on the rooftops, and then you can touch the goal ring. Anyway, we're on the jet black back streets, and there aren't really as many items here. The first area you want to look at is the area with a curved pathway where there's a lot of combat. There's a straightaway with monsters to fight, and up above is an arch with a not-so-subtle item over it. But the problem is you can't reach the arch by yourself because you can't jump that high. So you have to jump off one of the crates to get the height you need. You can use the crates that are already near the archway, or if you accidentally break them, you can go back and get one of the crates in the corner. But in the latter case, you'll have to carry a crate over to the arch. And yes, I know that it's a hard, long trip. The next item is actually really close to this archway. Go straight forward for a few seconds and you'll find a dead end with some barrels. But it's not worth turning around just yet because there are a couple of rods that you can swing on to go up. And when you reach the roof, I guess you know what's in store. Back on the main path, there's a bit of a zigzag in the road, but if you look at the map, you'll see a fork in the road just before you reach the switch and the spikes. So you'll have to take the alleyway on the right. And after a quick zigzag, you'll have, well, these little guys going up and down. Luckily, these spikes do retract, so you can wait for them to do so to cross, or you can just go YOLO and jump over all of them. And that's actually all the items in the stage. So we have one last level to cover, the Great Aqueduct. And first of all, you just go straight forward, and then turn the corner. And there's why. And then you can go back on the normal path, climbing up this pole and crossing the aqueduct. And there's nothing to watch out for until you get to this gap that you have to shuffle across. And it turns out that there are two items that you can access from this point. One is off to the far right where there's a gap in the aqueduct. Near the last two pillars, there's a group of jars you can break, but if you go poking around behind the last column, you'll find something a bit more valuable. The other item is nowhere near this area, but you still have to come to this point before you can get to it. You know the pole that I passed by to reach the item that I just got? Well, it turns out you have to climb up it to get to this walkway. Now, normally you have to go backwards because you have to find a key to unlock a gate up ahead, but for what we're doing, you have to go all the way to the back. And when you do, go forward and drop down from the walkway. Then you'll find an area enclosed in a few fences, and yeah, that too. Now, at first it looks like you can't get out of here, but really there's an elevator that comes down to get you. So you can take this elevator, go back the way you came a little bit, and continue the stage as normal. Because that's all the items in the stage. So with that, it looks like we covered all the items in Spagonia. So thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed this video and want to like, comment, and subscribe, but react to the video as you wish, and feel free to check out other stuff on this channel.